Hi, this is Alfred Brock with the Wayne Focus, and today we're going to be talking about eating safe fish. This material comes to us out of Michigan, but you'll be able to use this information anywhere you are in the world. So let's take a look at what they have to say to us from the Michigan Department of Community Health. And you'll see an image of this down in the comments below. So let's get started. Eat safe fish in Michigan or wherever you are. We're going to learn about eating safe, local, and healthful fish, in this case from the Great Lakes state, but also from anywhere that you'll be going fishing. It's important to eat safe fish. You can learn more about this online, not only below, but by going to michigan.gov/eatsafefish. That's eat safe fish, one word. So that's michigan.gov/eatsafefish. EATSAFEFISH. Eat safe fish. So let's get to know the three C's and the word safe and find out what's going on with this. So the number one is the letter C. We're going to choose something. This quiz will help you find the best way for you to choose your fish. So one of the questions is, I only eat fish caught in Michigan a few times a year. True or false? And then another question is, I'm 15 years old or older. True or false? Next one is, I don't plan on having children in the next several years. Wait a minute. Very serious stuff. It's taking a turn. Next one, I don't have health problems like cancer or diabetes. Okay. And last one, I don't eat fish from a lake or river that has posted signs which say, quote, do not eat, guidelines from MDCH. There's the quiz right there. Take that quiz, right? So you choose. Now, if all are true for you, you're at a lower risk from chemicals in fish. So if you don't eat fish too often in Michigan, or you're 15 years or older, and you don't plan on having children in the next several years, and you don't have health problems like cancer or diabetes, or you don't eat fish from the lake or river that has posted signs which do not eat guidelines, well then, you're at a lower risk from chemicals in fish. The safe tips will help you choose fish to eat once in a while without worry. So let's take a look at the safe tips. Safe. Smaller fish are better. They tend to have fewer chemicals. Okay. If you eat a bunch of little fish, though, you got to watch out for that. So, I'm not really kidding about that, because a lot of people like to eat something called smelt. Now, they don't like to eat that down in Louisiana because they use that to go chumming with. So, they don't want to eat the smelt down there, but they do eat anchovies and other small fish like sardines. And here we have some wonderful small fish that's cool, that are great canning fish and also great fish just to eat on their own. Now, if you eat a bunch of them small ones and they're in an area where they're chemical dangers, then you want to avoid that too. So smaller fish in general are better. Okay, they tend to have fewer chemicals because they're smaller, right? A, avoid large predator fish and bottom feeders. Ooh, there go the catfish. Always check eat safe fish guides before eating the fish. So always check to see eat safe fish guide. F, all fat should be removed, because fat is where chemicals accumulate. E, eat fish that have been broiled or grilled in a rack, because more fat will drip away during cooking. It won't get cooked back into the meat, and some of the chemicals will be carried away. Now, if one or more of these are false, of those questions about eating fish caught in Michigan a few times a year, if you do it a lot, or if you're 15 years or older, or you plan on having children, or you do have health problems, or you do eat fish from a lake or river that's marked don't eat them, then you might be at a higher risk. The Eat Safe Fish Guide will lead you to fish that are safer to eat on a regular basis. The Eat Safe Fish Guide lists fish species that have had fillets tested for chemicals by MDCH. It also protects people who eat Michigan fish often, and protects anyone who has health problems, is young, is pregnant, or is planning on having children in the future. That is if you follow whatever the guidelines are. And if you need one of those guides, you can give a phone call to 1-800-648-6492 or visit michigan.gov/eatsafefish. Now that phone number again is 800-648-6942. So let's take a look now at number 2, which is clean. You cut away the back, the fat along the back, and you cut away the fatty area along the side. You know what I think this is going to be? I think this is going to be a very good video to do, and we will demonstrate some of this activity. Cut away the belly fat. And now it says here, some chemicals like PCBs and dioxins collect in the fat of the fish. Can you believe that I'm reading this to you? It says it right here. So this is a state notice. Some chemicals like PCBs and dioxins collect in the fat of fish. If you're interested in what PCBs and dioxins are, just look them up on the internet or inquire at the library. We'll have I think we'll be talking about that in a separate video. Now when cleaning the fish, trim away any of the fat you can see and remove and throw away the organs too, as you normally would. Careful cleaning can remove a lot of the chemicals from the fish. And then we have cook. Number 3, cook. Now we're going to cook it. We're already down to cooking. Even after trimming away the fat that you see on the fish, some fat will still be hidden inside the fish fillet, inside the meat. Poke holes in the skin or remove it completely so that fat can drip away from the fish fillet as it cooks. Cook your fish on a grill or on a broiler pan in the oven, and any fat left can now drip away from the fish through the grates. Most of it may go away. If you cook your fish like this, you can get rid of even more of the chemicals that can be in the fillet, except mercury, of course. Can't get rid of that. Oh, isn't that too bad? Actually, that is too bad. This is a rather unique brochure, don't you think? Okay, now it says down here in the bottom, look. Oh, and he's got a little string on his finger. And you see what it says here? It says you can't remove mercury from fish by cleaning and cooking. You know, put the little string on your finger. Remember that one, right? Always choose your fish wisely. They were trying. They care. Okay, so by choosing the right fish and then cleaning and cooking it the right way, you can reduce some of the chemicals in fish by nearly half. Can you imagine that? Having your mercury intake or your PCB intake or your dioxin intake. Okay, now why are there chemicals in fish? Let's learn some more. We got a deep dive. Now, why are there chemicals in some fish? Number 1, there are many ways chemicals end up in lakes and rivers, including wind and rain runoff. The chemicals are in the wind blows and the chemicals go in there. How's the chemicals get in the wind? Another brochure, right? Okay, number 2, the chemicals sink to the bottom of the lake or river where they settle in the sediment. There they are. They're all settled down. Number 3, small creatures called macroinvertebrates eat these chemicals as they dig in the sediment for food. These will be clams, oysters, crawfish, all sorts of invertebrates, worms, and little creatures and things that are eaten by other fish. A wonderful environment here in Michigan, very complex a web of life that absorbs all these chemicals. Now, number 4, the macroinvertebrates are eaten by minnows, and minnows by medium-sized fish, and those fish are eaten by large fish, each collecting and storing some of the chemicals in their bodies. Now, number 5, this is why larger fish, predator fish, and longer living fish are likely to have more chemicals in their bodies than smaller, younger fish. The Eat Safe Fish Guide can help you find safer fish, as I mentioned. And to get that guide in your region or to learn more about catching or buying safe fish, you can, of course, call MDCH at 1-800-648-6942 or visit online anywhere in the world, michigan.gov. That's Michigan, michigan.gov/eatsafefish. Now let's learn a little bit more about the chemicals. We got some lists here, and then we'll wrap this one up. PCBs, dioxins, and mercuries are the most common chemicals found in fillets of Michigan fish. I'm going to read that one again. PCBs, dioxins, and mercury are the most common chemicals found in fillets of Michigan fish. Number 3, these chemicals are persistent and bioaccumulative. That means when the little things eat them, the bigger things eat them, and the chemicals get drawn up through the web of life there. This means the chemicals not only stay in the environment, they also build up in living things. Because of this, they have become part of the food chain for fish, as you can see in the image that we were talking about earlier. We learned all about that, didn't we? Some chemicals like PCBs and dioxins build up in the fat of the fish. Mercury builds up in the muscle or fillet of the fish, so you're not going to get rid of the mercury if you're eating the mercury, if you're eating the actual food that you're after. If you choose fish lower in mercury and follow the 3 C's that we went over with, were the 3 C's, which were choose, clean, and cook, you can keep chemicals from building up in your body too. And we're going to check that one because we're just going to check that out. But right now, we're stating from this pamphlet, if you choose fish lower in mercury and follow the 3 C's, you can keep chemicals from building up in your body too. They're still going to build up in your body if you've got the chemicals in there. So you can slow that process, but don't think you're going to keep chemicals from building up if they're there and being passed through to you through the fish that you're eating. So let's go on from there. You can't see or taste these chemicals. Isn't that nasty? They do not change how clear or dirty the water looks. These guys are invisible. The only way to know if the chemicals are in the fish is by testing for them in a laboratory. So you want to pay attention to those signs when you see them. Don't be eating the fish around there. The Eat Safe Fish Guide can help you find fish species that have been tested for chemicals by the MDCH lab, and the guide can help you and your family choose fish that are safer to eat. Okay, now we're on the back now, and we're going to be wrapping this up in just a minute. What are safe fish? Well, safe fish are fish that are considered are low in chemicals. They state here, considered low in chemicals. If you use the Eat Safe Fish Guide when you choose fish to catch and eat, you will protect yourself and your family from chemicals that could someday make you sick. We'll be going over that, but just be careful. If there are chemicals in the fish, why should I still eat it? That's a good question. I was thinking that as soon as I picked up that pamphlet. All right, now, one of the reasons is fish can be a great low-fat source of protein. They got a lot of health benefits. That's what it says. So that's why I guess, why should you still eat it if it's got chemicals? Fish are brain food. Some fish have heart-healthy omega-3s. This is pretty, wow. Okay, I'm enjoying it. How about you? All right, plus fishing is a fun way to get outside and enjoy Michigan's 11,000 lakes, rivers, and streams, one of which is probably near you if you live in Michigan. Now, if you follow the 3 C's, and again, the 3 C's are choose, clean, and cook. If you follow those 3 C's and go after fish that have fewer chemicals in them, you'll get a lot of health benefits and have very little risk. And look, that's in bold. Isn't that great? Very little. You'll have very little risk. Thanks for listening to me today and enjoying Eat Safe Fish with me from Michigan. This goes pretty much for anywhere you are in the world. If there's a sign that says, don't eat these fish, please, around here because they're dangerous, it's a good idea to stay away from them if you possibly can, unless you absolutely, positively must eat them to stay alive. So we're working things out. If you got any comments, please put them down below. Thanks for spending some time with us. Have a great day.